Okay, come on. Let's see if I can carve a path through the left side here. No, don't get murdered now. Yes, here we go, here we go. No, no, no. What are you... Did you see that? Hello and welcome back to the Ronin, and when we left off we had this massive Botanian army breathing down our neck, and they were attempting to either take this castle or this castle. Thankfully I was able to deter them from such an action. However, now here's the thing. This is something that I just want to highlight to you. If you're having difficulties, because I do get a lot of questions about, you know, various strategies and whether I'm able to do this, or whether, you know, you need some assistance here or there, or, you know, whatever. Just for newer players or for people that are having some possible issue defeating larger parties. Now, obviously, the easiest way to defeat a large party is to just have generally better units, generally have a bigger army, and so on. But that's kind of meh, right? That's kind of meh. You're not really using any kind of strategy to really get one over on them. However, this is the strategy that I have used numerous times to pretty good effect. Now, the one thing that you can do is you can stop them from resupplying. Now, I've talked about this before, but this is just a prime example of this. Look at the arrows right here. Look at the arrows. I have caused this guy to literally go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, over and over again. And now that that is happening, just look at that. Look at this. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Eventually, this is going to be too much for them, and they are going to split off. And then, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? As soon as they split off, bear in mind that I'm actually running out of food as well. That is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to need to go over probably to Charas, maybe to Jaculan, or maybe to Galend or something like that, and to try and get some more food. But yeah, I've only got 34 days left, but many of my people are actually taking from my food supplies. So that's obviously a pretty big problem. However, I'm hopeful that that is not going to make too much difference just yet. So now, as soon as this gets a little bit too much for them, they're going to disband the army. 100% they will disband the army. I'm thinking that it will probably happen about 500 or so. They're probably going to disband around 500, I would expect. If they don't do that, then they are silly. Yeah, no, apparently they are quite silly. And all I have to do is just stand here, because technically the AI could go around, but they're not going to do that, because the AI are a little bit silly, you know, quite obviously quite silly. Okay, here we go, here we go. Now look at this. Look at what is happening now. They are completely done. They have nothing. They have no food. They have nothing. And I am literally going to head in here against all of them, or basically as many of them as I can possibly encounter in this method. And boom. That's it. Do you see that? Look at that. All of them have been captured with the exception of this guy and this one. This one managed to escape just beforehand, unfortunately, because he's now going to get to enter Sargot, and he's going to purchase a huge amount of food, and he's going to be all very well and fine and all that wonderful stuff for him. So good for him, right? However, just think about this. This army had almost 900 units. They actually did have 900 units, but they had a number of wounded and so on. So obviously they didn't have their full strength or anything like that. Now, if I had not stopped them from resupplying. Now, bear in mind that they obviously had a predetermined attitude or behavior towards me. They were basically thinking of pretty much only one thing, and that was to besiege something. That's all they were doing. So they wanted to besiege one of the castles that I had just taken, because of course they do. Of course they want to do that. Even players want to do that kind of thing, but obviously players, they do tend to, you know, give up or decide to do something completely different, like I have done in recent times, you know, because obviously, as I said in the previous episode, I decided to change my strategy against the Botanians because it was getting a little bit tedious, a little bit tiresome for them to continually come at me with extremely well-supplied armies and try to pretty much recapture anything that I would have taken otherwise in just moments before that. So I decided to switch things up, and I've come all the way over here, of course. You've seen the previous episode, hopefully, so you obviously know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the point is, they only wanted to besiege and take that. Which is fine, because, again, you would definitely want to do that. You would definitely want to try and take something back, especially something that is, indeed, relatively weak in terms of its garrison. Of course you're going to want to take that back. However, we didn't allow them to do that, because I've got a pretty strong army, you know, we're pretty strong, you know, we're not nothing to sniff at, you know, we're certainly something to be a little bit scared of, and that has now resulted in the opponent having a huge, huge problem, because they decided to not engage when I was in the garrison of any one of those castles. They were being very indecisive. If they had actually decided to go in, I think we probably would have had an extremely fun siege defense, and they probably would have ended up losing, but now look at what's happening. They're losing anyway. They're losing anyway, and they're losing in a pretty embarrassing fashion as well, because let's face it, I think it would have been much better for them to just go full out, you know, just go full aggression in that siege attack and just try and take it straight away. Just try and take it, and consequences be damned, pretty much, for them. And yeah, so they decided that they would go this way, and they just completely messed up. At least in my opinion, I feel like they messed up. Because, let's face it, it's AI. They're going to be able to get these losses back very, very quickly indeed. We know how fast they are able to get them back. And, you know, it's not really... I mean, obviously, according to the AI, it's going to be a pretty big loss. But we know deep down that because of the campaign AI, because of whatever setting it is that changes how fast and how much money the AI actually makes, it's really not going to be that big a dent. You know, it's not going to be that big a dent. However, bear in mind that each one of these little defeats that they take at the hands of us, eventually, it's going to add up. You know what I mean? All of these small little engagements that we have. I mean, obviously, this is a pretty small one at the moment, hilariously enough. I mean, I literally lost no one because all of these guys are severely depleted in terms of how good they're able to fight, because their morale is extremely low. There's basically no really powerful units, because all their powerful units have, no doubt, become knocked unconscious thanks to the fact that they don't have any food left, and so on. So that strategy obviously just pays us super hard in terms of dividends. They're literally giving us basically the victory on a platter. That is pretty much how it's going. Anyway, apart from that, then they decided, you know, once they had given up with the siege, they decided, okay, we're running out of food. I'm going to have to do something about that. This is their thought process. And then as soon as they think that, it's too late. It's too late, because as soon as I see them going to a town and not attempting to take one of these castles or go to besiege something else, as soon as that happens, I know immediately what is going on within their army. I don't need to be told that. I just know that they are running out of food. And that is when I can take advantage of the whole situation, and I can turn the tables on them in such a dramatic way. Now, unfortunately, Charas doesn't have anything that much to provide us. I only have 14 days worth of food remaining. Bear in mind that my parties at the moment, they are also having some problems with food. So I'm going to either have to find some villages that sell foodstuffs, and these guys actually sell olives. I don't think. Ooh, yeah, they're not selling anything because I think my people actually just purchased a whole bunch. I think they might have just purchased a whole bunch from them. Bear in mind that they're going to do that way before I even get into the marketplace. So it might very well save me, to be honest, because if I only have to supply myself with food, then I have, well, 29 days left, as you can see right there. But if I have to supply everyone else, it's only a few days, like 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. So I'm hopeful that going into all of these little areas here is going to make a pretty big difference. Okay, so we got some grapes there. I'm going to go in here, but it's probably going to be bought. Most of it was bought. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. All right, so I'm just going to continue going into these places. I might try to besiege something else. Like, for example, I might try to take Hongard Castle because it's right there. And it kind of makes sense. Oh, yeah, this is nice. Look at that. A massive amount of supply right there. That's really, really good. Okay, so, yeah, I would love to... Yeah. Shall we take this? I kind of want to take... Sargot, actually. Truth be told. I would very much like to take that instead, because, let's face it, if I'm going to take a castle, then it just means that more of my people are going to be dropped off there. And I won't be able to do anything about it, pretty much. So, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go to Praven right now. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh yeah, actually, I'm gonna buy some grain from here, if I can. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna try and go to Praven, try and get some more food, because let's face it, food is pretty much. Well, apart from having enough money to pay your troops, that's pretty much the most important thing, because if you don't have morale, then people are going to start either leaving or they're going to start having some huge problems. Okay, here we go. Now I'm having huge problems with actually being able to field all of this stuff, and they don't have any horses. Are you serious? That's actually hilarious. Okay. They don't have any horses. Right. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to get rid of some things. There we go. That's going to have to be enough. We have 170 days worth of food. That should be enough, at least. Cross fingers. Let's hope that's enough to be able to see us through to the end of our campaign in this region of the Botanians' territory. I mean, technically it is their territory. I mean, it was the Vlandians. Aldrich? Hello, Aldrich? Wait a minute. That's not Aldrich, is it? No, that's someone completely different. What? I must have moused over someone completely... What? That was super weird. Did you see that? I saw Aldrich's name, but then all of a sudden, it's this guy. I thought that his banner looked different. It's kind of strange. Okay, well, whatever the case. Let's go back to Sargot. Ah, hello. Yeah, this is that guy, you see? This is that guy that actually survived the starvation. And I'm going to try and do battle with him before this guy gets in. Come on. Go. Yeah, I think I actually made it. Okay, so this is great. That means I don't have to fight another 150 or so units. I don't have to fight 100 and, I don't know, what was it? 680 units or whatever. So yeah, this should be pretty good. And this is going to be... this is super nice, actually. This is super nice. Unfortunately, I have so much infantry. I'm actually not entirely sure why I have so much infantry, because I kind of thought that I might have balanced my forces a little bit more. But maybe I thought at the time, when I was constructing this particular army composition, that I was going to do a lot of sieging. And obviously, if you're going to besiege something, it's going to be much, much better to have a majority of infantry, especially if you're going to take down the walls first, or just generally, you know, it's going to make a huge difference to that. But oh well, never mind. I personally, I prefer many more ranged units. I feel like having some more ranged units would really make a huge difference. Oh, no, thank you. I don't want to get lanced in the face. Ah, yes, you're going to get slashed. You are going to get slashed, sir. Thank you. Okay, careful. Yeah, nice. I hit him at the very end of the weapon. That is super fun to do. Alright, so we're just going to try and tell our forces to move into position here. I just wanted to do a little bit of a skirmish with some of their cavalry, because let's face it, we really do want to murder them as much as we possibly can. Oh dear, I've said the M word. You know what that means. So that means I'm going to die in the next... what? Okay, let's take a note of the time here. It's been about... it's been almost 14 minutes, so let's actually say that I'm going to die within the next 3 minutes, alright? So by the time it gets to the 17-minute mark, I will probably be face down in the dirt. Let's hope not. Okay, I'm going to try to survive, of course. I'm not going to try and make that happen, but, you know... Cursed Blade murder, you know, that's what happens. That's what happens. So I'm going to try to just play as normally as possible, and if I do get murdered, well, I've said it again now, double the murder incoming for me, that's for sure. Yeah, let's try and make sure that doesn't happen. Yes. Let's try and make sure it doesn't happen. Okay, come on now. Take this guy down. Ooh, he was able to block. Very nice. Good work. Good work, sir. All right, there's my forces. Just going to need to move a little bit more. And these guys are going to lay in a little bit of a chase. Nice. Take out one of the vassals. I hit her for a lot of damage, a lot of overkill damage right there. So I'm hoping that maybe we can kind of try to more extensively test how that really works. Okay, let's tell these guys to charge in right now. My archers can move a little bit forward. Basically, charging in this kind of scenario is really not going to result in any kind of casualty for us because there are just so many of my units. Oh, wait a minute. I almost died. Wow, he hit me on the... What? How did he hit me on the head? Wasn't that a one-handed? I feel like that was a one-handed weapon. I'm not entirely sure how he would have hit me with a one-handed weapon when I'm on a horse. Is he like 8 foot tall? Is he like 210 cm or something like that? That would be kind of insane. Well, whatever the case. I'm not playing a Game of Thrones mod right here. I'm not fighting against, you know, I don't know, White Walkers, or I'm not playing Lord of the Rings and fighting against trolls or anything like that. I'm just fighting against regular men, and they're more than likely much shorter than average because it's, you know, medieval times, kind of. But, yeah, well, interesting. All right, let's do some damage. Nice. Okay, oh, I actually wanted to take out the vassal, but, oh well, never mind. This guy's going to murder me, if I allow him to, that is. Ow. Yep, case in point. Okay, wait a minute. Is it 17? Oh no, I haven't survived until 17 minutes yet. Okay, I don't want to run away because that's kind of cheating, you know. It's kind of cheating to put myself in a safe situation, a 100% safe situation. That's really cheating. Just trying to escape from the murder curse. But yeah, I'm gonna try and continue to play normally, and we'll see. No. Oh no, that was bad. Thankfully, we were able to recover a little bit there. Ah, did you see that? That guy fell off his horse, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna change the swing, and then I was like, oh, I cancelled the swing. Yeah, that was great. Oh well, never mind. He did get taken out, so not really anything that I need to worry about, but still, it would have been nice, you know, it would have been pretty stylish to see that, but oh well. There you go. I actually did manage to survive and avoid the murder curse for the moment, but don't worry. If you're waiting to see the results of the murder curse, I'm sure it's going to happen in the next siege that comes up, which is no doubt going to be in a couple of moments, especially considering Waithuin is coming very close to us, and I'm sure she's going to have enough influence to be able to form an army. Now, I would like to try and murder her if I can. No one actually died? Wait a minute. No one actually died from that battle? Oh, I'm kind of disappointed now. I actually thought that I might have killed someone there, you know, with some overkill damage or whatever. Let's just do a nice little auto-resolve against her, and then we'll move on to Sargot, and we'll see what we can do. Now, obviously, I'm going to take food as much as I can, and bear in mind, I have so much money right now. I could basically not have any thieves for the next, I don't know, next, what? 5 in-game years or something, maybe, and I would still be perfectly fine in terms of money. So yeah, even if I were to take loot now and sell it, it basically makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, so here we go. Oh, they've repaired the walls? Really, that fast? Wow. I mean, they must be they must be all level 3 right now, right? You know, all those improvements and stuff like that in the town itself. Okay, so did actually anything level up? No, nothing leveled up at all. So why am I getting an exclamation mark down there? I guess it's due to one of my companions leveling up or something like that. Anyway, this is obviously going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, they're getting mercenaries to join them now, which is a little bit worrying, because that means that mercenaries are going to be they're going to be quite strong right now because it depends, obviously, if the mercenaries have been helping anyone for a significant period of time. But if they haven't, then their armies are going to be quite large. So obviously that's a bit of an issue. Anyway, what is actually going on here? She has no fief? As far as I'm aware, she has no fief. Ah. They still own Vostrum. Okay, sure. Let's declare war. If we declare war against the Southern Empire and we're able to take Vostrum, that's actually going to be a pretty decent push into that territory. And it's going to give us a nice little landing point, or launching point, should I say, to attack elsewhere in and around that area. So hopefully they're going to be able to do that, because I am way too far away to make any kind of push myself. So I'm hopeful. No, they took that back? Are you serious? Huh. When did they take that back? I didn't get notified. Well, yeah, it's because it's not mine, is it? Yeah, it's because it's not mine. Okay, I can only hope that this is not going to get besieged, because otherwise my work will have been for nothing, basically. Which would be pretty awful. Although I have reduced their combat strength, in my opinion at least, by a pretty decent amount. Yeah, as you can see, look at that. They did have, I think, almost 17,000, and now they have just under 16,000. So that's not too bad. But I personally feel like we really need to declare war against the Azerai so that we can stop paying them 2,800 dinars. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because they really do want to... I don't know. They really want to keep going at the Botanians for some reason. I really don't know why they want to do that, but okay. If they do go after Usank Castle, though, I'm going to have to stop this siege and then go after that one. I might even have to go in here without taking down the walls, because let's face it, I think that maybe if I take down the walls, the AI is going to have a much easier time of attempting to retaliate against that particular target. So... I mean, as I've said before, the AI does tend to only do those kinds of things. Ah, hello. Look at that. That is exactly the army that I was seeing taking this. They have definitely taken that. That's the reason. Okay, so I guess we're actually going to have to lead the assault in a manual way. Let's do it. All right. Am I at full HP? I didn't even check. Oh, well. Never mind. I guess if I'm lower than 100% HP, then, well, we're going to have a pretty rough time. But no. It seems like we are full HP. That's fantastic. Okay. This might be a little bit bad. This might be a bit bad. But I'm going to try and get a little bit of crossbow skill. I'm at 100... I think I'm at 168 crossbows, or is that one-handed? I'm not entirely sure. But if it's one-handed, then maybe I'll try and get some one-handed skill as well. Hello there. Nice headshot. Nice headshot. That was actually really, really smooth. Maybe I can get some more. Nice. I seem to have become quite good at headshotting with my crossbow now. I don't really want to pat myself on the back too much, because if that happens, then I'm going to get overconfident. No. You're not going to shoot me, sir. Ah, I did get shot a little bit. In the shoulder. How dare you. Ow. Oh, now I missed. I was rushing it, you see? That's what happens. Nice. Some of my people are getting eliminated by the enemy's siege equipment, but I don't think we really need to worry about that too much. I hit him in the shoulder. Technically, if I hit him in the shoulder... What? What did I get shot by? I have no idea. But I'm at half HP now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the siege equipment, my battering ram, is taking it. Well, a battering. Oh, what's going on here? Look at that. What? Oh, that was cool. Whoa. Okay, yeah, that was actually super cool. I was actually wanting to switch to my shield, but I don't have one. Okay, yeah. So that was actually really cool. I love seeing the siege equipment fire, even if it's at myself. I mean, look at that. Look at how cool that looks. I feel like we need more of this. I don't know. I feel like I'm not entirely sure what the developers are supposed to do to make that more more prevalent or make it more viable or something. I don't know. It just seems so cool that it would be a waste to only have it appear in such weird ways, because obviously right now they're able to use this because they've constructed it, but most of the time you don't really see that kind of thing because they're not using fire, catapults, or, you know, what have you, so it's a little bit different. Anyway, I'm going to go for the one-handed for the moment, because close quarters combat seems to be the name of the game. I'm going to have to be very careful here, though. Okay, come on, let's see if I can carve a path through the left side here. No, don't get murdered now. Yes, here we go, here we go. No, 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 what are you... Did you see that? I didn't... You know, that's the funny thing. I didn't even move to the left. I literally got pushed off. Apparently that is still a thing. Because if you have seen any of my Warband series, you'll know that that's exactly what has... It basically happens a lot in pretty much every single siege that I've done. Whenever I'm attempting to push past friendly AI, they tend to push you off. There tends to be a little bit of like, I'm not even entirely sure what to call it, but it's kind of like two opposite sides of a magnet pushing against each other. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, because whenever I'm trying to move past, I can't just move forward straight, even though there's a straight, clear path in front of me. I somehow get pushed a little bit to the left or to the right, dependent on where I am. And trust me, I did not press A on my keyboard to move left. I did not do that. I was literally going straight forward, but still I slipped off. Don't know why that happens, but there you go. As I said, cursed blade murder. That is what caused my demise, no doubt. But I'm okay, because I was using it, hilariously enough. I was actually using the cursed blade at the time, and boom, look what happens. That's actually super funny. Okay, well, whatever the case, we have two layers of defense to go through here, as you can see. They actually have an inner wall and an outer wall. So hopefully we're going to be able to do the business here, so to speak. I'm kind of a bit worried about this, to be honest. Seems like the militia are fighting extremely hard right now, and they're able to fight off a lot of our forces right here. Kind of a bit worrying. And you can see here that their main defensive force... Really wish I could go inside here, but I can't. Oh, I can. Oh, I can if I actually follow someone. Nice. Oh, okay, this is great. I don't really want to follow these guys, though. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, that was a little bit too... Yeah, that was a little bit too bright, but at least we can see what's going on here now. I kind of don't want to, I don't want to follow any of the Battanians. I'd like to follow some of my own forces, but, well, what can I do, I guess? So we're just going to have to follow this guy, who I will name, oh, okay, never mind. I will not name you, because apparently you're dead. Okay, well, I guess I'll just leave them to it in there. Maybe I can see what they're doing from outside here. Unfortunately, the free camera can't go inside. But the sticky camera, I guess you could call it, the camera that follows people, can go inside. So I guess that's quite nice. Ah, I see. It sticks to whoever you look at. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, so wait a minute. I'm going to do something quite fun here. Okay, so I'm going to follow this guy. This guy's name is Jeffrey. He's going to prove to all of us that he is an exceptional combatant. And he will absolutely murder everyone in his path. And he will not get stuck in this extremely pointless melee. Yes, it seems like he is. It seems like he is. But I can only be thankful that maybe they're going to be able to clear this out relatively fast, because, I mean, just look at what they have. They got militia just coming out of the walls, pretty much. They have so much militia that I don't understand why we're not doing better, to be honest. I really don't understand that. Okay, so we've... Wow, we're actually doing much better than I thought. Okay, never mind. There's no need for me to complain. No need whatsoever. Actually, you know what? I wonder whether that would be possible. I'm gonna suggest something now. I'd love to see a first-person view of this guy. like, or of anyone that you're following. I'd love to see a first-person view because I'd love to see what they're actually seeing close up. You know what I mean? I think that would make everything so much more immersive as well, because then I'm not going to just be seeing this random guy running around in this massive globule of units. I'm going to be seeing him swinging his weapon at enemies, taking them down, and then moving on to the next one. Or if he's unlucky, then perishing in the attempt, of course. But now that they're outside, I can actually disengage from following him, and we can look. Whoa, that's a lot of enemies. That is a lot of enemies. Okay, wait a minute. What's actually going on here? Why are my forces so incredibly diminished? I think we're gonna lose this, actually. I think we might lose this. Let me actually just take a quick look. Yeah, this is exactly the problem. Look at this. The AI is so incredibly stupid sometimes. I'm actually kind of a bit sad, because if I was alive, I would have been able to tell them to charge in now, and that's all I really want them to do. I don't know why they're still on the trebuchet, because oh, they still have ammunition. Oh, okay. Well, I actually didn't think that they had ammunition still, but let's watch what happens with this trebuchet here. Where's it going? Oh, it just went into this little tower here. Well, that was effective. Not. I mean, here's the thing. If this game had fully destructible environments, which is what I was actually wishing for many years ago when I was still playing Warband, I was wishing that it had fully destructible environments, because come on, who doesn't want fully destructible environments where you're able to literally use siege engines in person to destroy this wall, for example, or destroy this archer nest, and then to see all of the archers falling off the edge and just going right down to the floor. That would be super immersive and cool, right? But yeah, unfortunately that is not the way it is, because they had to rebuild the entire engine and so on, but still. Would have been cool to have that fully destructible environment sort of thing going on, but probably would have taken up many, many more resources for people's systems than the game already does. And speaking of that, actually, the performance of the game is actually really good. It's actually really good. It feels a lot better than it used to, at least. I haven't really suffered a huge amount of slowdown anymore, or any kind of frame rate problems whatsoever, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I would expect it to only get better from now on. So yeah, if you if you played Bannerlord when it first came out or whatever, and you were unhappy with the way that it was performing on your system, well, maybe give it a go now, because you never know. Maybe they've done some improvements. What was happening with this guy? He just jumped out there like some kind of stunt man or something. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so these guys are inspecting each other. Okay, yeah, let's not let's just leave them to it, shall we? Let's just give them some private time. All right, so yeah, apparently we are going to achieve victory, but it is just a matter of time. So let's just speed this up a little bit and get our guys in here and murder the rest. There we go. Done. Alright, so we did take a grand total of almost 100 unit casualties, which I suppose is not that bad, but I would have much preferred to stay alive just that little bit longer. Just that little bit longer, and not to die from such a stupid thing happening to me. But, as I say, there is that weird thing that tends to happen with, well, Mount and Blade games in general. For me, I'm really not sure why that happens. I know that in Warband, how you stop that from happening is you just don't press any directional buttons. Just like no buttons whatsoever. So if you press W, if you press A or S or D, something is going to happen to push you off, because you then become an entity in the game world that is going to become, shall we say, interactable, or you're going to have collision with anyone nearby to you. And if you stand still, it kind of removes that collision from you, if you know what I mean. So that's the reason why sometimes you might just want to stand still in those kinds of cases. So for those of you that may also have the same kind of issue that I do, which is unlikely, I guess, because it seems to only happen to me. But anyway, if you do have that issue, then you know how to kind of counter it. These guys are going to be attempting to take Usank Castle, I would assume, so I'm probably going to be heading on over there relatively quickly. I would love to be able to be the owner of this new castle. I mean, this new town, not this castle. But it's highly unlikely that they're going to give it to me, let's face it. But I would love it, because if they can give it to me, I will 100% make sure that this does not get taken back. And there we go, there's a nice autosave. Okay, so are they besieging it? It doesn't seem like it. It seems like they've run off in this direction. Right. Okay. Well, I guess that's all right. Right, isn't it? Yeah? I think that's okay. I mean, there's 165 in the garrison here, and if they are having a couple of scouts nearby, yes, they do. Okay, yeah, as you can see, they're going to do this thing again. Yep. They're going to do exactly the same thing that they did before, where they're going to attempt to take this particular fief. They're going to attempt to besiege it, and then when I go close, they're going to run away, and so on. I really wish that was not the case, and I really wish they would have a little bit of a different behavior, but, well, that's just how it is, unfortunately. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and be a little bit rejuvenating here. We're going to try and regenerate ourselves. I'm kind of a bit irritated why they don't come all the way over here. Because if they came over here, I'd probably just go and auto-resolve against them, to be honest. Just to get them out the way, you know what I mean? Just to get them out of the way would actually be pretty useful, considering they're not even having a huge amount of people in their army right now. I mean, they've got 600, but that's not even that bad. Let's actually see how much they have. They have nothing. What? They have nothing at all. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're just gonna go and auto-resolve against these guys. Just auto-resolve. Look at that. We took 67 casualties because their composition is literally, well, I'm gonna say it. It's garbage. It's garbage. They really don't have anything. They had skirmishers, they had trained warriors, they didn't have very many oathsworn at all, and there you go. They paid the price. They paid the price for that. Alright, so now we're just gonna take a look and see whether these guys are actually anyone special. And hello there. You will be executed, sir. There we go. He is a clan leader. Let's take him down. All right. Then we've got some more people here. Obviously, I am over encumbered at the moment, but that just means that I am going to move a little bit slower. It doesn't mean that I'm going to lose loot or anything like that, thankfully. Okay, so there's only 200 in here. There's the other army, actually. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so they actually had 2 armies in the area. Oh, no. Okay, so now, this is also the reason why I wanted to do this, rather than continue to besiege things around this location. Because here's the thing. If I were to do that consistently, and I were to go like, okay, well, I'm going to take Lycaron, going to take Cestadime Castle, Chinopsis Castle, and so on, then what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. They're going to come over there with those large armies, and then they're going to immediately have the opportunity to take something else of ours. So, for example, they'll try to take Gauss Castle, they'll try to take Myzea or Phykeon or Marinia Castle. However, the way that it is now, we limit the amount of damage that they can inflict, because Usank Castle is pretty good right now. You can see the militia. They're building up a pretty decent garrison in there, so it's highly unlikely that any, well, medium-sized army like this one is going to even be able to do anything against Usank Castle's garrison, or they're going to sustain so many casualties that it's just not going to be worth it for them. And the same thing with Sargot. And even if they were able to defeat me, you know what's going to happen then? They're going to take so long to get over to the front lines. They're going to disband, and that's it. They're going to disband, and then hopefully, by that point, the Tetsujin will actually be able to do something, because let's face it, look at them. They're almost at 20,000 combat strength. Let's have a look at some of the other factions. It seems like the Azurai... Oh, Vlandia is actually doing pretty well. We've got 9,000. Yeah, so... I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but hopefully we'll be able to, you know, continue eliminating these armies and seeing what is... eventually going to transpire. How many people do I have wounded, though? 106. Okay, so yeah, I should have about the same amount of units that they have in their army. They do have 34 wounded, though, so they do have the numbers advantage. What do they have in terms of their composition? Yeah, now this army I would not auto-resolve against. They have some very, very high-tier units, and they're probably going to be quite dangerous. But otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.